Welcome everybody to the build of the Ducati 916. Got the unboxing of this bad boy online. Not yet, actually. It's about to go online. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. It's an amazing piece of machinery. I'm sure there's all sorts of Ducati fans out there. Let's light this up. Light this studio up. I'm hoping to give you guys a step-by-step making of this. Our F18 didn't work out that well. The F18 worked out very well due to health issues. I didn't work out very well. I couldn't give you what you needed and give you steady flow of what was going on. So I truly apologize for that. Got a little bit of a music situation situated. So we got some decent uncopywritten music that hopefully YouTube will not shut us down for. I still gotta keep an eye out on the brakes. The brakes threw me off a lot, guys, honestly. Constant braking in between. While I was filming, so I don't know how that works out. I set it up properly. I put it every like 5 hours, so it wouldn't bother us at all, but they just wouldn't give up. Wouldn't give up. Ooh, excuse me. All right, this is it. It's a beautiful piece of machinery here. I'm gonna try to stay as true as I possibly can to the color. A little bit of the wear and tear. Comment if you like or dislike any direction we go. Yeah, other than that, enjoy. Hopefully you like the music, the stylings. I did make a custom playlist for y'all. Keep this ride dead ahead in front of us. Keep the motivation, especially with the color schemes. And yeah, I'll try to pay attention to comments if there are any. Generally, I don't have viewers, so I'm not used to keeping an eye on comments or anything of that nature. Kind of sad, but it is what it is. This is what we're working with right now. So I'll try to give you guys about an hour a day, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the process. I'll try to do all the tedious work, so you don't have to. You can sit back and relax and see someone else torture themselves and try building this wonderful model. It's a Tamiya model. It's uber detailed. What to use, what not to use, how to do it, how not to do it. Tech tips, painting tips. Specific painting guide, I suppose, even though the paint is detailed in here. Maybe equipment list, tools you need. I'm actually thinking of maybe putting together some kits. Maybe some kits for beginners to kind of get them the right tools, not the super shitty kind. Get like a decent level, medium level started a medium level toolkit with like decent quality products. Then, to be honest, it doesn't take much. I mean, you don't need super, like, I consider myself a medium level builder, quite a bit of experience, and I'm using, just this is your typical what you would find on Amazon. I generally, anything I buy from Amazon, I try to go like mid-range anyway, and this is a good mid-range product. Hasn't had a problem yet. Sharp, does its job. Can't complain. It might not be like the super highest quality or the techiest of snippers, but works perfect. And this is what I use, There's nothing wrong with it, or there's no shortcomings whatsoever. I think this is more in the line of the work you do, guys, honestly. The work you do with it. Again, like I got these nail files. I think these nail files are from like salon type of nail files, or like a salon company. But the reality was they were perfect size. They had that soft, and they were soft the middle part, like foam core almost. And real was that the grit was 120 by 240, so it was exactly what I wanted. And I really didn't care what color it was. I didn't care who was making it. I didn't care if it was made for toenails or if it was made for RC cars or whatever. Really irrelevant. And what was important to me is that it worked, and so far so good. Again, can't complain. I would throw in something like this in a kit, but although I would probably look up now with the experience that I would look up the thinner sticks. So I ended up cutting these into strips, because sometimes there's like little areas you can't get into. And then I found out later that they actually do make like they make these strips that you can buy. So I would probably, like, if I had to build a kit and put it together, I would definitely put like the again, medium quality-ish, whatever it takes, decent sized strips to it. Let's see, what color is this bad boy? So every piece is color coded on a diagram. This is going to be the rear assembly, essentially. The rear entire wheel sitting on this bad boy. It's a swing arm, I guess. Let's see, it says XF56, which is metallic gray. I want to say it's the exact color that it needs to be. Yeah, I say XF56 is the actual color of the plastic. Now, what I want to do is make sure that if I do put lines while I'm sanding, I'm going to make sure to buff those away. Make sure it looks clean. So, first I would like to sand it nice and clean. It's kind of rough in there. Let's see. I put a set of these grinders in there. Make a kit. Make them very simple. These were very inexpensive. They actually came in like, I think like a 12 pack or something, maybe even like a 15 pack. Just a bunch of them, like three different ones, but it was like 5 or 6 sets of each. And I guess people go through them. I've yet to be honest. I mean, maybe they're being like used for like metal or something, or for whatever reason. I can't imagine plastic going through it. Going through it at all with just the models. I've opened up one set and I've been using it for over a year and a half now. So, and that's just this session. I've been making models for a very, very, very long time. I'd say since I was 10, 11 maybe. I make models with my father and my brother. Very, very good bonding experience. Very good activity to share with your children. To bond with your children. And, maybe even siblings, friends. I mean, don't get me wrong. It doesn't have to be family and or whatnot. Could be anyone, but it's fun, man. It's a fun thing to do. I feel like if you're into, putting stuff together, assembling stuff, like Legos. If you're into building stuff, this would be like, I would say, a rated R version of Legos. It's a little harder. A little more complicated than Legos, considering the pieces are kind of free and there's a lot left for interpretation at times. It's like it's listed and how to put them together, but there's a lot of again, I feel like there's a lot left for interpretation on these things. Okay. That worked out okay. Still see these lines. Let's see if we can get our This is again Tamiya, I believe. Oh, is it? No. I thought it was a Tamiya brand. The sponges maybe. Anyway, this is sandpaper, guys. This is 2000 grit sandpaper, but obviously it's not paper. It's cloth-like material. This almost feels like plastic on this side, and it's like cotton, fluffy. I don't know what in the back. Very good for wet sanding. But yeah, very fine grit. Sandpaper, basically. Let's see if I can clean this up here. Yes, 5 minutes in, we're already in the thick of it. This is how it is, guys. If you're new to it, this is literally the build process. It's not as glamorous as you might think. No, again, this is me building on a certain level where, you know, I sand these things down and make sure they're in good shape to work with. A lot of times, even when I was a beginner, honestly, I didn't even know I had to sand these things down. I was completely clueless. I was just take them off the tree, wouldn't even grind down those excess plastic, and I would just snap them together like a little jackass. But I was a kid, I mean, and at the time we were new to the country, so no speaker so well, no reader very well, and you know, our parents were like, "Oh, make sure you read the instructions thoroughly," and you know, this and that, and it was like, as far as I could tell, we could afford to buy the model itself. I don't think anybody was looking to buy any more tools or product or, you know, anything like that to supplement the build, which again was fine, man. I mean, we were children, we didn't know any better, we didn't even care. We were having a blast just putting together airplanes and military jets and tanks and stuff. Yeah, but somewhere between, like, I don't know, our 10th to our 15th build, we realized, man, these things, you know, they don't snap together very well. A lot of gaps and stuff in between pieces and stuff. Essentially, you know, caught on to the fact that you needed to grind stuff down, sand it, you know, and even use filler at certain points if necessary. So at this point in my building level, I'm very proficient. Even now, don't get me wrong, even now, there are things that I don't do perfectly, but I can tell it is a hell of a lot better than I did before. A hell of a lot better. I tried to add way more detail. Let's see, it says B3, which is this piece here. It's gonna be some sort of floating gear, I guess, in between there. And of course, the chain, B10. This is X10 on the chain. That bad boy's just sitting there. Let me get some of this hardware out. Look at the cute little screwdriver. Look at that bad boy. That's kind of cool, man. We shall use it. 2 by 15 millimeter. We know what that means. Absolutely nothing. We need to get the ruler out. Because I'm not that efficient when it comes to freaking millimeters at this point. 15 isn't a whole lot, but it's enough. I want to say it's this bad boy right here. So it should be 1.5 right there. It's not 1, it's 10, and that's 10, 20, so 15 would be in between. I learned something new today, guys. If you guys don't know about millimeters and standard and inches and all this stuff, the metric system is the easiest and most wonderful system on earth. It literally just want to do right 7, 9, 10, up to 100 and 1,000 and 10,000. And I mean, yeah, it's unreal how easy it is. So don't hate on the Europeans when they hate on the metric, or when they hate on the standard system. It's just that the standard system was built and made for certain things, which are okay, and it's a good thing to have. But we seem to have just adapted all of it to everything. Dare I explain what that incoherent rambling was about? So, one thing I learned about the standard system is that, well, parts of the standard system have reasons beyond what you might imagine. Take, for instance, temperature. Right? So Fahrenheit, well, Celsius is used internationally. And as far as I know, 0 is freezing, 100 is boiling, right? Hot and cold at both extremes. It's pretty simple. Now, the problem with that system is that not a problem, but well, yeah, a kind of problem would be there wasn't enough gap between the degrees. Can you wrap your mind around that? So, to measure human beings and living creatures, we run at very minute levels of temperature. If you were to calculate like your body temperature in Celsius, it would be too much of a breakdown. 1 degree would have to break down into 0.00, whatever degrees. So the Fahrenheit system is not necessarily like an American standard system. Fahrenheit system was created to measure human/living things' body temperatures. So, human beings are supposed to be 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So you have a lot of space, you have more. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's all there is to say. There's just more to deal with, more to choose. It's a smaller scale. Because you're dealing with a smaller thing. I'm sorry. I just know that it sounds terrible. So here's what I can compare it to. Before I had children, I didn't get when people were like, oh, it was a baby, right? They're like, how old's your baby? They would say, oh, 2 weeks. Or like 3 weeks. Okay, cool. I got it. Up to a month, right? And they're like, okay. How's it? They're like 13 weeks. You're like, oh, you mean 2.5 months or whatever, right? Or, 2 months and a week or whatever. You're like, no, it's 13 weeks. Now, here's the thing. Before I had kids, I didn't realize why people would speak that way, or why the fuck would you even say, go 13, 14, like, oh, 32 weeks. Like, what the fuck difference does it make? Just say this many months. No. The difference is that at that age, the growth is so major in between every week that there's a there's like just a huge thing that happens between, like, let's say week 31 and 32. So you can't say like 2 months and a half. No. What week is it? Because it's very big difference between one week and the other. There's so much happening that you need a smaller scale to convey what's going on. You can't just say a month and a half, because a month and a half could be 6 weeks, but then it could be like 6.5 weeks, or 5.5 weeks, right? Like, those days count. So that's why people will say this many weeks. Okay, so that's another lesson learned. So 1 point Fahrenheit. And so that you have a bigger breakdown of the numbers. It's like saying fucking like, imagine you had meters, but you didn't have decimeters, you didn't have millimeters, or you just had like meters and then micrometers. Like, there was a big gap between like one level, one way of counting to the next step. So anyway, Fahrenheit was just a bigger breakdown. So you start at 32 and 451. Apparently, I think no. 32 is freezing, boiling like 120, 150, something. 451. I don't know. Fahrenheit 451 was like like paper burns at 451, something like that. So anyway, it's just a bigger or more detailed measuring system. That's all it is. And it's kind of cool. Once you learn these things, you're like, oh shit, okay, so there's a reason that they had that. It wasn't just, oh, they want to be jerks and like just throw off everybody's counting or whatever, throw off the count or just be pain in the ass or whatever. Yeah, there's a very, very specific reason as to why they have these things. So I'm assuming, because I know in England they actually use miles as well, and they use pounds as well. So I'm sure it's an older system, pre-America, by the way, like the miles and kilometer, like the distance system. And I'm sure it's to, again, measure distances that are either too great or too small, that you need smaller or larger increments of counting, of measurement. Imagine, like, let's put it this way. Imagine time, we have seconds, we have minutes, we have hours, right? Imagine we didn't have seconds. We had minutes and hours. And you'd be like, well, okay, I can hold my breath for like a minute and half a minute. But you wouldn't be able to say, okay, was that 30 seconds? Was that 20 seconds? Was that 40 seconds? So imagine, and then someone come up with another counting system and say, okay, this is XYZ. Now we're going to break it down into 60 seconds per minute, let's say. But instead it was like, 120 seconds per every 2 minutes or whatever. It's like kind of off, but yeah, in essence, that's what it is. So there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantages to standard as well is you have like the kind of like fractions going on. So like, let's say this tire is 10.5 millimeters, right? So the half of that would be 5.25 quarter, like, millimeters, right? So instead of that, they say, okay, well, this half of whatever it is, it's just half, period. That's all there is to it. It's a half. Whatever, it could be 20 feet, it could be 3 inches, it could be 10 miles. We're doing a half cut, basically. You got a quarter cut, and, eighth cut, 16th cut, 32nd cut. So the standard system kind of makes way for that, where you can put half size or a quarter size or an eighth size, like, increment to something irrelevant to what size it actually is. You can't do that with a metric. You can't say, oh, it's half of 10 millimeters is 6 or 10 or 15 or 20. No, half of 6 millimeters, let's say, is 3, or half of 10 millimeters is 5 millimeters. That's it. There's no other way to calculate that. There's no other way to do it. So if you have a big piece of wood or something, right, you can't say, okay, we want to cut this in half. You can, but don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that in the standardized system, you can just say half of whatever it is, or a quarter of whatever it is. Or if we need 5 pieces, 6 pieces of something, we divide up equally to that many pieces, regardless of how big the original size of the product is, or whatever the object is. It's kind of cool. I mean, if you really think about it, it's really fucking cool. There's advantages to both. Advantages and disadvantages to both. The metric system is, like, when you're counting like stuff like this, it's brilliant, man. Brilliant. Super easy. Super, like, just like, oh my god, I don't know. It's not thoughtless, but it's stressless. It's just simple, easy, clean, neat, you know? It says 5 millimeter. Boom, 5 millimeter. We saw this screw. It said 15 millimeter, right? 2 by 15 millimeter. We put it on a ruler with the millimeters, you know, hair size fucking millimeters. Boom, 15 millimeters. Solid. No offense or buts. I love it. I love both systems. And both systems they can both exist. The town is big enough for both these guys to exist simultaneously. It's okay. It's acceptable. So, yeah, I like both systems. Now, let's get the chain, which is X10. Gun metal. Gun metal. Hey guys, a little cheating. And I've got these acrylic markers that I've got a fucking wide variety of colors. And quite frankly, I believe are very useful. And I want to use them instead of, you know, making so many dozens of paints. Although I do have a ton of paints pre-mixed as well. So, anywho, let's get a clean sheet, a little bit of a clean sheet. Let's use our palette. See if this holds up or is enough. We're gonna do X10. Gunmetal. I think gunmetal is that looks well gunmetal. right. Looks about gunmetal to me. How's it look to you guys? Gunmetal enough, everybody? Let's look at the chain. So we can get a view of the chain. Yeah, I mean, it's basically dark gray. Just like what you expect, right? D. Let me get a folder for this bad boy. Because we don't want to get like grubby little hands all over the paint. I would say comment and stuff, but I don't know, I haven't seen anyone in the room yet, which is okay. East cool, my friends. As long as I'm here doing my thing. At this point, it's all that matters, not to me. Maybe one day someone watch this stuff and enjoy it. Or listen to me rant. Because everybody loves someone that rants and talks a lot, right? Kind of do. I kind of do, so screw the haters, man. I love to hear a good rant. Things I could rant about, guys. I remember there's a movie called The Hangover. If you guys remember it, there's a wonderful scene with the wedding chapel owner. Long story short, he says a quote that rings true for me. He says, "Hey guys, life, what a motherfucker." True words have never been spoken, especially in cinema. I can't believe this song isn't copywritten. I guess not. How does that look at home, everybody? Let's see. X16. No, XF16, which is flat aluminum. I want to say this is a good flat aluminum color, no? Good dry pussy cane. Oh. Hang on, guys. I have to send that to voicemail. What time are we at? You can probably take a little break. And guys, we'll be right back in a minute. Let's take a little break. Is there a break in here? No. Okay, guys, we'll log off here and we'll be back in a. Actually, no, we're good. Good to go. I thought that call was gonna be a little more important than I thought, but it's okay. Let's push through. Let's label this guy XF16. Again, doing a little bit of cheating. Not really. You gotta kind of work with what you have and what is handy. And this is just the smarter way, I feel like, of doing this. And we can repaint the chain if need be. I want to make sure I get this kind of inside angles at least. Most of that won't be visible in there, but still want to do a good job, you know. Okay, so as far as I can tell, it wants aluminum plate. Yeah, so this plate's gonna be aluminum with silverish bolts, I guess. One good thing about these acrylic markers, guys, is that it doesn't, the paint doesn't go on too thick. So you don't end up putting like layers and layers on plastic, which then you have to sand away in order to sometimes make fit. So, genius move on that end. Okay, let's let this dry. We'll take a quick 2-minute break and we'll be right back.